Let us talk about RC2, which seems to be a difficult RC passage in the sense that the genre is political philosophy, but the language is slightly on the tougher side. So this should not have ideally been the first RC that you attempt in case you're not extremely comfortable with such RCs. Now, here we talk about two authors, basically two critiques in a way, Amin and Said. Primarily, we focus on Amin's work. Amin has tried to explore that what were the reasons behind European imperialism from a from the perspective of what was happening within Europe, the ideology of Europe. So it's more of an internal sort of an analysis where he talks about how European capitalism was in a way flawed and it actually justified this global predation of capital. So it looks at it from an internal perspective, while Said's view is what we call a post-colonialist view, which looks at how European imperialism emerged because of the European prejudice towards the non-Western people, those racist views that they held. So both of them analyze them from different angles. We focus more on Amin's angle in this RC passage, right? So this is what the RC is about, and the language, as I said, can be challenging at places, so you really needed to understand it. However, the questions, in case you've understood even the basic points of the RC, the questions are not very challenging. Let's have a look. Question 6. From the passage, it can be inferred that all of the following are true about Amin's book, Eurocentrism, except. So, what is not true? Whenever you attempt such questions, there might be times when the options, when let's say you are confused between two options, such that you feel that, okay, this is also not exactly true. I am iffy about it. But see, this is clearly false, right? So, this is clearly false about Amin's book. So in that case, you know which one you'll choose? You will choose this one, which is clearly false about Amin's book, even if you're iffy about the others. So if I hunt for such an option out of these, then this says Amin gave the post-colonialist criticism. We have just when I summarized the RC for you, we just saw that Amin gave a Marxist criticism, okay, and Said gave a post-colonialist criticism. So this is clearly false as per my RC passage, okay, and that is why this is going to be my answer. The other things, they can be verified from the passage, one. Secondly, they match, even if you look at it very broadly, no, they match with Amin's criticism of Eurocentrism. So he criticizes capitalism. So it's likely that he would call it defective. If you, let's say, have to attempt this in a short span of time, then this is the best approach if this matches the tone that Amin carries. Eurocentrism was divisive and exploitative. I, in fact, remember it from the RC passage, how it exploited other people, right? How it allowed for a global predation of capital, how it created false dichotomies. All of these have been mentioned, right? And again, it matches the tone that Amin had towards Eurocentrism, critical. So negative matches, negative matches. These cannot be the answers. And internal European characteristics are warped, meaning flawed. This again can be said based on what our passage said in the beginning. Although our passage said that the claims of how the let's it's not exactly the passage. It does not exactly say A. If I have to show you the exact thing, so this is the option that you could be iffy about. It says Amin exposed claims of how capitalism developed in Europe as flawed. This is what was flawed, okay. So this is what was warped. Similarly, the story of capitalism emerging from internal European characteristics is distorting. So this story is distorting, not exactly the European characteristics. So you could be iffy about this one, but again, if you compare it with option B, you clearly realize that B is false, whereas this I am iffy about. B is the answer. Okay, so moderate, um, easy in case you remembered this. Yes, it was a matter of retention.